First of all, crossover, we have Greenfaith Africa, which is launching its regional office right here in the capital, Nairobi. They are multi-faith-based organizations steering climate justice and action. And let's first of all listen in. Currently speaking is Reverend Fletcher Harper.
Our theory of change is simple. I really don't need to explain it to people of faith. We make up more than 80% of the world's population. We're not some timid, irrelevant minority. We are the best hope of the world. We are the people who, when there is darkness, bring light, who, when there is sadness, bring joy, who, when there is pain, bring comfort, and who, when there is a lack of vision, articulate a picture of what the future can and should and must look like. We know that about ourselves. Our traditions are indispensable. Imagine a world without faith. How quickly would we circle the drain? 80% of the world's population. And more of us are concerned about climate change. We see it. We feel it. It impacts our lives. It destroys our farming. It inflicts cruel droughts and fires on us. It forces too many people against their will to migrate because they cannot survive where they've lived for generations. More and more of us are concerned about climate change, but still we're relatively silent compared to our numbers. Here we have some giants, some lions. I wish I said before some of you came in, my favorite animal is a trout. It's a fish in North America. It's a beautiful fish. The only challenge we have here is that the predator of the trout is an eagle. God knows there are a lot of eagles here in this room. I'm watching out. But we, as people of faith, don't yet know exactly how to take action about climate change. We're still learning. And so what Greenfaith does is we try to organize people of faith to come together in Greenfaith circles, to go into action in campaigns against fossil fuels and deforestation and related financing, in support of just climate solutions. And we equip people to take bold action publicly and to speak out about why they care and why they are taking action. We're creating this multi-faith vanguard with many partners because we know that together, when people of faith do this, we represent an unstoppable force for good. Try saying no to millions of people of faith gathered together for the right reason. Just try it. It doesn't work. You can go to the next one. This is our theory of change. Some people, as Marin said, like images or like sound. We do eco-spiritual education. We talk to people about what is it in the Vedas, in the sutras, in the Quran, in the Bible. Where are those passages that give us enlightenment and vision and understanding in life about protecting the earth? Because we all need that deep source of wisdom and a power that only comes from the deepest places within the human spirit. We train people in skills about how do you organize, how do you build collective power locally? Because we know that together, when people have that training and those skills, they can make an enormous difference. And then we move together into public action, and we see that when we've got this community, what happens? We move finance from climate destruction to equitable solutions. We stop new fossil fuel projects, and we secure a just transition and loss and damage funding for people who are suffering through absolutely no fault of their own. I have no doubt that this works, no doubt whatsoever. And I also have no doubt that with the hundreds of millions and billions of people around the world who are people of faith who have not yet heard this message that collectively we believe in, that we have to get up and move. The time is not long, and it is not vacation time. It's not holiday break for the climate. It is time for action. There's a wonderful saying. I hear these sayings different places around the world where we work. It's an Irish saying that I love. Maybe it's because I'm an argumentative New Yorker. There's an Irish saying that says, "Is this a private fight or can anybody get involved?" This is our time to rise. We weren't always this way. I'm an Anglican priest. I was a parish priest for 10 years in the state of New Jersey, just next to New York City, when several of us came together and had this sense. We really didn't know how to articulate it very clearly, because those of us who have been around faith communities for some time know we've really been learning about how to speak about this. 20 years ago, most faith communities, most spiritual communities, most religious communities we had a reverence for the earth, but we weren't connecting it with these contemporary issues in the way that Reverend Les Morey so eloquently and powerfully did. So we got started in New Jersey in the early 1990s. And Daisy, you can go to the next slide. At first, we were learning what's possible. And we were doing a little bit of everything. We were doing education and awareness raising. We had an early project putting solar panels, getting the financing to put solar panels on churches and temples and mosques, just to try to make these buildings a beacon of hope and a vision. And we started right from the start. One thing we saw quickly was always, not sometimes, not a bit of the time, but always, the people who are impacted worst by pollution, by climate change, are the people who've done nothing to create it and the people who've done nothing to generate it. Because pollution largely